I completely forgot that I even have a YouTube channel, so now I'm probably back doing videos again or something just because I want to, so I don't know, let's do this, I guess. Now, starting with, of course, TSB, well, what can I say? This one is just one of the classics. Like, pretty much the Battlegrounds that started it all on Roblox and stuff, you know? Well, like, I do enjoy it, but not as much as like I used to, kind of something like that. It is a good game, do not get me wrong, and well, I kind of quit it because lack of updates and like it got a little repetitive. It just wasn't feeling the same anymore. That's why I kind of quit the game. But of course, time to time again, if I do come back to the game, it is pretty fun. But most of the time, other than that, I am mostly on other games. Well, there's not much else I can say about this game other than like, well, I will say it is one of the like, it is a very 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 good game. Like the combat, that like Battlegrounds wise, it is most likely one of the smoothest ones so far. The combat, well, maybe smooth is not the right word. May I have heard somebody else say it's stiff, something like that. Maybe I would say that, but like in a good way, basically. That it's very like playable and can get into it pretty easily. But I think that's like most of it from me at least about this game. I do enjoy it, like I have said, so it's not a bad game by any means, but if I were to give it a rating, I would most likely give it an 8.5 out of 10. And this is coming from somebody that has around maybe 2 or 2.5 years of experience. I don't know how long the game's been out for, but yeah, well, it is fun, it's enjoyable. If you're new to the Battlegrounds genre, I think you should try TSB out at least once, or as your first game into the introduction of Battlegrounds, basically. Now, on to the next game then. Now, here's another one of my favorite ones, well, one that I especially play the most nowadays. Heroes Battlegrounds. Well, this game as well, is like, I'd say for me, personally for me, I'd say it's definitely better than TSB. Like, with the quality of the game, the fighting and everything feeling even more smoother. Well, like, how do I put this? I think the game, amongst every Battlegrounds at the moment right now on Roblox, no glaze, no anything, I think it's most likely the best one out there at the moment that you can play, aside from maybe TSB, you know. And this game also has pretty decently consistent updates and things, and like all of every time an update drops, it's always like going to be very very good. It's gonna be very high quality, it's gonna be fun, and that's why I myself personally really like playing this game, and I enjoy doing so, especially with friends or like even by myself. I like playing this game a lot, and I think it's pretty good. You can play it for yourself as well if you want, and well, like I said earlier, I did mention if you did want to, you could play TSB as your first Battlegrounds game, or you could play this as well. It may be a little bit more harder, but I think you can also get pretty used to it, and I think it's very fun. And if you do decide to play it, then well, have fun, cause sometimes, well, it does get a bit laggy. That could probably be an issue from my end, maybe. I'm not sure, but either way, Heroes Battleground is a pretty fun game, and you should definitely check it out. Now, for the more lighthearted ones, we have Jujutsu Shenanigans. Now, this game, again, yep, very fun, but of course, it's like, it's not usually meant to be taken very seriously, like how Heroes Battleground or TSB is kind of like more, oh, maybe not fast paced, not that, that's not the correct word, but Jujutsu Shenanigans is more like the type of game where you play to just have fun. You don't really have to sweat or anything. Of course, there are always those nasty sweats in every game you play, so you can expect to find them. But aside from that, Jujutsu Shenanigans is a very fun little game. Is one of the main things I really like about the game is the destruction and like most of the gimmicks and everything that this game has to offer. And well, like, it's a pretty silly game, not really meant to be taken too seriously, I think. That's that type of guy. Yeah, that's your choice. I don't really want to say anything about that. But yes, of course, Jujutsu Shenanigans is a very fun game as well. You can try, especially with friends. If you go into like a private server with friends and just have fun there, because private server settings are free in this game as well. You can use it in a private server. You spawn dummies or like other fun settings. There are also map presets, like custom pre-built maps and stuff that you can load it into your own server and have fun over there, basically. And well, yeah, it's a pretty fun game. It has a bunch of things to offer. So if you're looking forward to a pretty like a laid back experience, but you still want to have fun, then I would definitely most likely suggest that you play Jujutsu Shenanigans because it's very fun. So of course, if you are a mobile player or you have a low-end computer or anything like that, then I think you should most likely check your settings. There are some couple of settings you can do, take off or take on, like increase performance because of the destruction. It gets pretty chaotic sometimes, right? So yeah, that's why you should most likely do that. So yeah, it's another pretty fun game. Now, another pretty fast-paced Battlegrounds game that is kind of like the rest of the games that I've shown on the list, like TSB and Heroes. Legends Battlegrounds. Another really good fighting game. Battlegrounds, of course. Well, this one is also pretty good. It's like, I think maybe it's one of the more recent ones, kind of. Like, it's in the middle, practically, so to speak. But then again, this game also is very good. It has pretty smooth combat, pretty easy to get used to as well. Similar to, I'd say it's more similar to TSB more than Heroes. It's pretty easy to get into. The characters are super fun to play in this game. The ultimate moves are, some of them I'd even say are on par with Heroes Battlegrounds or the like. And it's a pretty fun game as well. I think if you were to play it, you'd enjoy it a lot. It has smooth combat, like I had mentioned earlier, and moves are very pleasing to look at. It's a pretty fun experience, yeah. And this is like, I'd say, it's most likely in my top 3 or top 5 favorite Battleground games on Roblox. So yeah, you should definitely try this game as well if you can. Though I would suggest, of course, playing something else beforehand, so just so you have like a little bit of taste of how Battlegrounds are like in general, so you can get a taste of it and basically understand how it is. But of course, I'm not one to tell you to stop doing whatever you want, something like that. So you can play this game as well if you want first, if you want to. So yeah. Now, honestly speaking, I would maybe review a couple more games and all, like other ones I have tried out so far, but honestly, I don't really have that much energy or something. I'm a very lazy person, but those were probably my most favorite Battleground games that I've tried out so far. And yeah, maybe another day I'll maybe make another part 2 to this, where I'll showcase or will recommend more Battleground games that I've personally played and enjoyed myself. There are a lot more that I did enjoy, but however, well, I'm not usually really on Roblox anymore. I usually only hop on it for like a few minutes or so, 30 minutes, an hour, something like that at most. I play with a couple of friends. But yeah, that's mostly about it. These are the Battleground games that I've enjoyed a lot over the past, well, 1 or 2 years, like months, whenever they dropped as well. So yeah, that'll pretty much be every game I'll recommend here for today, and maybe sometime later in the future I'll also make a part 2 to this, who knows, I'll see about it. Well, that's gonna be it then. See ya.